Thanks for joining us here on Engage's Noble Facebook page. My name is Greg Rice. I'm here at 101 Lakes studio here in Steuben County. And today I'm going to interview a person from the community who is often much maligned by all sides. Yet, even in Christian circles, people don't seem to want to get to know him. It seems easier to jump to conclusions from a distance. Perhaps the assumptions are right, or maybe some are misplaced. Let's get to know what makes Bret Carpenter tick a little, and then you can decide for yourself. Hey, Bret, thanks for being with us tonight.
Thanks for inviting me.
You're welcome. Give me a little brief rundown of your family and where you came from, and I need you to do it in about 3 seconds. So
okay,
because this is costing me a lot of money. So go ahead.
All right. So I went to high school, Columbia City.
Yeah.
I went to IU for a few years.
Oh, you did go to college
for 3 years. And dropping out to do card counting in Las Vegas.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, not so nice.
Well, yeah.
So I ended up, I always knew I wanted to go to Mexico.
Uh-huh.
And so one day I just got up and went to Mexico. I ended up staying there for 25 years. So I met my wife in Mexico. We had 5 girls in Mexico. And about 8 years ago, we came back to visit. And my brother told me, hey, you can work on some homes I bought. You need to put your girls in school. They need to learn English. Your wife needs to get her citizenship. So I took him up on it. And when it was time to go back to Mexico, my wife said, I'm not going back. She told me I could go back if I wanted, but I said, it's not going to work out too well. So we ended up staying here. We ended up getting a house in Kendallville.
Okay.
And so I put my girls in school in Kendallville, and then things started happening.
I see. Okay, so all of your girls were born in Mexico?
Yep.
They were Mexican citizens?
Yes.
Are they dual citizens?
Yeah,
right?
they have dual citizenship.
As is your wife?
Yes, she got her citizenship. My girls, they get their dual citizenship as children.
Oh, okay. Okay, very good. Well, moving forward here, a lot of folks have reached out to me to ask me more details and clarify regarding your daughter's Rachel. Her speech was confiscated by school officials in 2021. Now, instead of going into great detail on what happened, Bret and Rachel did a podcast a couple of years ago. Was it a Freeborn podcast? That is going to be attached right along with this video. You can go and review that yourself. And get all of the details coming from Rachel as well. So I would encourage you to do that, but we're going to go ahead and move on. Was her freedom of speech violated in your opinion?
Yes, and not only in my opinion. We did talk to 2 lawyers. My daughter got to talk to lawyers from fire.org. And I actually just got online and I looked up First Amendment lawyers who had won important cases. And I found a young guy in Michigan, talked to him 3 times. He was just very adamant. Yes, this is a violation. I said, well, be specific. What law? And he started laughing. He said, the First Amendment. And I said, okay. But because of the cost, and there's really no money in a lawsuit unless you can show damages.
Right.
And so we decided not to pursue that.
Right. But attorney's not going to work for free.
No.
And I'm sure you didn't have a $50,000 retainer laying around.
Right. And yeah. Wasn't going to do
that. Well, soon after the event, you addressed the school board.
Well, what happened is I wrote the school board, I explained to them what happened, and they never responded. Then my daughter wrote the school board, and they never responded. And I had never gone to a school board meeting in my life. I didn't even know what happened there. I looked up online, where's the school board meeting? What do they do there? Can I speak there? So I found all this out. And so I went to the school board meeting, the first meeting, explained to them what happened in a very respectful tone. And when I was there, I was shocked by what the president of the school board said. He said, you can speak, but you cannot criticize any of our administrators or any of our policy decisions.
Was that part of the rules?
The policy that they
Or the
have.
policy that they have?
That's a East Humble That's what he said.
Okay.
And so, but it's because I have what I was saying scripted and I didn't go off script, I waited till the next meeting. I thought, well, if the principal doesn't believe in free speech and the superintendent doesn't believe in free speech, and then I go to the school board and I saw, well, they don't believe in free speech. I say, no, this is unacceptable. I had worked in the school for 2 years, and I had learned that the administrators, almost all of them, are bullies. And they really, in my opinion, they disrespect the law when they want to. And I just said, I've had enough of this nonsense. And so I prepared to go to the next meeting and call them out on their anti-free speech position.
Now's a good time. Roll the video, please.
Want to talk about school board policy? Yes, sir.
Well, I came here at the last board meeting. I was just absolutely infuriated by what I would call the inexcusable, despicable act of a violation of free speech against my daughter, Kathy Longabaugh. Ann Linson confiscated her speech right before she was going on stage. And I was very angry, but then I came to the meeting to express my opinion, and I was actually frustrated by what I heard here. I came here, and no sooner did we say Pledge of Allegiance, than you came out saying, well, we do, the public comment period, we don't have a right to criticize board members, and we can't criticize you. And I thought, well, we just said the Pledge of Allegiance, which doesn't mean that we are pledging allegiance to the Constitution. And then the very next thing you said was a violation of the Constitution. We have every right to come here and express our opinion and disagree and criticize any member we want by name personally. What you are advocating is well, we love the United States, but no, you don't. That is viewpoint discrimination. The law is expressly written.
Sir, your time's up.
Wrong.
It's 1 minute and 15.
Case. Justice Brennan affirmed that the United States is founded on the
1 minute and 20.
profound national commitment to the principle that debate on public issues should be uninhibited, robust, and wide open, and that it may well include vehement, caustic, and sometimes unpleasantly sharp attacks on government and public officials. That is the law of the land. You represent the law. You are to defend the Constitution, not these bullies up here. This is the board of bullies.
I'm not here to argue with you.
This is the law of the land. I don't have to be nice to them.
I'm not asking you to. I'm asking you follow the rules of the meeting. You didn't follow the rules of the
What are
meeting.
the rules?
They explained those to you at the last meeting.
Yeah, that I cannot criticize, but the law of the land says I can.
And there's recourses that you can take other than here. So I'm asking you to take those
So
recourses
you
other
are
than
going to, you're their puppet.
Here's a disorderly conduct.
Do you represent the law?
Here's your
or
disorderly
them?
conduct warning. Okay?
You are here to defend my rights.
Mr. Carpenter.
That is
I
your
don't want
position.
to have to ask
Don't
to
you
leave.
swear an oath to defend the law?
Yes.
Okay, you're violating my right. This is a violation of my rights.
Again, I do not want to have to remove you from here. But
Then
I
don't.
can.
Let me speak. You do not have to remove me. That is these bullies telling
And
you.
they've asked you to stop if you feel that your rights have been violated. You have recourses you can take with that.
My rights are being violated, but don't be you the one that
that's-
violates them.
I'm
Don't
not.
you be the one that violates.
Again.
If you try to take me out here, you are the one who is
Again.
violating my rights. Let me continue.
Again, they've asked you to stop.
Viewpoint discrimination. The law says very clearly, if you allow somebody to come in here and agree with you, you have to allow somebody to come in here and disagree. If you're going to allow somebody to come in here and compliment you, by law, you have to allow somebody to come here and criticize you. This is the law of the United States. It's unacceptable. It's despicable.
If you would come
No,
out
I'm not
this way with
leaving.
me.
Is my time up?
Yes.
No,
They said your
I have
time
three.
was up.
It's my three. No, they don't.
Let's go.
Their time. No, I'm not leaving. I'm going to finish.
Mr. Carpenter, I do not
I
wish
was
to remove you
Then
from
don't. Here's what I'm telling you,
Come on,
people.
let's go.
You need to grow some skin,
Okay.
obey
That's
the
fine.
law of the
Come
land,
on.
Stop your anti-American, anti-constitutional policies. It's illegal.
Mr. Carpenter,
You're offering.
I'm going to ask you.
You're offering me the courtesy.
This is not.
This is what you said. The courtesy to come here and speak.
I've asked you to leave.
You said you're going to give me the courtesy to say as long as I praise you.
Again.
Well, I'm going to give you the same courtesy. It's reciprocal.
Mr. Carpenter.
I'm going to give you the
I've asked
opportunity
you several times
to obey the law.
It's time to move. Go.
To obey the law.
I will push you out in the chair, out in the hallway. I don't care. Let's go. I do not want to.
What right?
Let's go. This is private
right
property. I've asked you to leave.
Oh, so this is not a public setting?
No, it is not.
Okay.
You've been asked to leave. Now you're to leave the building. Okay. Let's come out here. Shame on you.
How much time do they allot you to speak at the school board meetings?
Normally 3 minutes.
Normally, if there's not a lot of people.
Right. Yeah.
At that particular point in time, had they allotted you 3 minutes to speak?
No, when they interrupted, you heard my wife. She pointed out it was 1 minute.
Well, no, my question is,
Yeah, 3 minutes.
you were supposed to have 3 minutes. Well, I noticed I timed it actually. It was a little over a minute when we were interrupted.
Right.
Now, the officer kept saying that you had recourse. You could address this through other avenues because you believed your rights were being violated. What does he mean by that?
He means by we're going to violate your rights, and if you don't like it, you can spend $10,000 and get a lawyer and go bankrupt to fight the charges. I did not want to do that. I was going to stay there and take my 3 minutes, which the law allows me. But I didn't want to push it. I was told before I went there, don't get arrested.
Right.
I was pretty certain that I was going to be taken out. And this is one thing I do want to make clear so people know this. A lot of people say, well, you were so angry. Look, I knew had I gone in there like I did in the first meeting and I was respectful, I wouldn't have been taken out. But I wanted to prove a point. I wanted the people to know these people do not value the Constitution. They do not believe in freedom of speech. These are bullies. So I knew I had to push it. I knew I had to take that approach, a very strong approach, point out their hypocrisy. And I told my wife, video this, I guarantee you they're going to take me out.
So you agree you were being mean, so therefore you were wrong. So they had a right to remove you.
No, and if you read the law that I was reading, the foundational case law on free speech in the United States, which has pretty much determined all free speech from that time on, New York Times versus Sullivan, it says right in there, I can take that approach. Very wise people, our Supreme Court, they decided, yes, you can have vehement, caustic attacks on government and public officials. And so I was just exercising my right in proving the point. These people are not traditional Americans. They do not esteem our Constitution. They just don't. Well, and how do I know this? Because I had a meeting with the sheriff afterwards.
Tell me about that.